Disclaimer: the following program features language not suitable for all audiences, and the expressed opinions found within this program are a reflection of those who feature on the PopCulture Effect podcast. Welcome to the PopCulture Effect. I'm Rockin Rob, and on this show, I bring my closest friends together to talk about all the news happening in our pop culture world around us.
Heyo, I'm Subset. I'm here with two of my greatest friends, Rob Lobster.
I am here and not dead.
And Menace.
Hello.
And today we have a lot to talk about. Not a lot, but a lot of interesting things to talk about. I'm sure other people have covered it before us, but time, scheduling, all that.
Now, this week I've got a few interesting topics to discuss, but first, the most important news to me is the fact that Microsoft has confirmed that they will not be increasing their game prices to $80. Now, initially this was something they had revealed for their new Outer Worlds 2 game to coincide with Nintendo Switch 2 announcing their price hike, as well as PlayStation also announcing a price hike. Now, it is good that Microsoft has kind of rescinded this threat to the consumer, because it's pretty gross that now Nintendo is trying to set the standard, but I'm really glad to see that Xbox has kind of made the smarter choice when it comes to what gamers want to put their money towards, and this new price reduction doesn't just apply to Outer Worlds 2, but also all of the other holiday releases they have coming out, and probably the other games beyond the holiday season into the next year, and I just really hope that this sticks. I hope this isn't just a publicity stunt for Microsoft to get back into good graces, and then, do some other thing to jack up the prices, whether it's upping the price of microtransactions, or even upping the price of Game Pass or Live, because, if they do that, then it's essentially kind of the same thing, but I'm sure people will be a lot more receptive to those choices rather than paying $80, or in Canada's sake, $100 for each game. And yes, it is $100 because Nintendo is still promoting Donkey Kong Bonanza on their website as $100 Canadian, and I just cannot wrap my head around that, and I am so glad that I chose not to go for the console. Now, for PlayStation's position in this, I'm not quite sure if they will follow suit with Microsoft. I'm not a PlayStation player, so I wouldn't really know, but hopefully they will do the same, especially with the fact that a lot of their exclusives are now coming out on Steam. But speaking of Steam, I did want to make one little mention as an extra bit of news for this bit, and that is the fact that they are currently dealing with credit card companies, Visa and MasterCard, pressuring them by an advocacy group to cut out platforms that host NSFW content like Steam, meaning that yes, a lot of NSFW games are going to be banned, which is great for protecting kids, but nobody really knows how many games can be considered NSFW if you make the view broad enough. Now, aside from that, there's not much else to discuss when it comes to this new price update. A little bit of a smaller news piece, but I still felt it was important enough to include because I am a die-hard Xbox fan, even if I have been trying to play either Game Pass games or more old-style retro games that I've just put on the back burner. Even I can admit it is really nice that Microsoft is doing this kind of act of goodwill to the consumers. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to discuss when it comes to Microsoft's decision to rescind their price hike in the wake of Nintendo Switch 2, basically trying to gouge out their consumer base's wallets with the console, the camera, the online service, the controllers. I could literally go on, but we have a whole episode discussing all of the details for the Nintendo Switch 2, so if you want to know more, go and check that out. Actually, before I going back over to the Rogue Ally, I just want to mention, for those of you that did not check out our previous episode going over the Rogue Ally, and I definitely suggest go checking it out, it is compatible with Xbox games, Steam games, and some PlayStation exclusives. But aside from those, the other things I try to look for, and my friends have actually been helping me out with that, is looking for indie games, because we all know how AAA developers love to treat their IP. So $40 for, let's just say, for an example, a game like FBC Firebreak, that's a really good deal. But speaking of which, I think it's time for me to send it back to me and my friends as we discuss FBC Firebreak. But the one game that we have so much footage of, so much experience with. Menace, why don't...
I mean, we don't got footage of it. I wasn't streaming it, but...
I mean, mental footage, but...
mental footage, yeah.
Menace, why don't you discuss the new Left 4 Dead style game that we've been all hopping on, FTC Firebreak?
I can't... Okay, first off, what is FTC Firebreak?
The chairman! I don't know.
It's, okay, the name is FBC Firebreak.
Oh, FBC? I got it wrong? No!
Yes, because it is based off of the Federal Bureau of Control from the game Control.
I'm embarrassed.
So, for those that don't know the game studio Remedy, they have a game universe that is connected through Alan Wake, Control, and somewhat their old game Quantum Break. But this is set after the events of Control, and you are playing as FBC agents clearing out the remnants of the Hiss, and also doing the daily tasks that FBC agents need to do. This is set in what's called the Oldest House, which is in the game it is called a place of power. And it's essentially, think of like an SCP building. It is a living building that shifts around and it contains a bunch of paranormal and paranatural things. Like in the very first mission, you are fixing fans to cool down a living furnace.
Or, fighting Sticky Ricky.
Oh yeah, the Sticky Ricky, who is a monster made of sentient post-it notes that duplicate. Each of these sound like a general, mission, and then it just becomes all weird and supernatural, like we just said, where the job title is clean up the sticky notes, and there's just sticky notes everywhere that self-replicate. So you essentially have 3 people, and there are 3 different types of kits that you can use that give you different abilities. There is the shock kit, there is the hydro kit, and there is the fix kit. Each of these have a specific job you do. That's why I can't really say it's like Left 4 Dead, because you have specific objectives that you're doing while you're going along. Like with the furnace one, you are fixing fans, so you need the shock kit to help you power the fan, you need the fix kit to help repair the actual fan itself and fuse boxes and stuff, and you need the hydro kit to cool you down, because there are different status effects in this game that you get just from being around, including heat, which once you are too hot, you will catch on fire. Granted, there are ways to do everything with just one kit. Since it is kind of an office building, there are sprinklers overhead to kind of douse yourself with water. And when you need to fix something, if you are the shock kit like me, you need to do a quick time event where you're pressing either left or right bumper for controller to fix or power whatever you're doing. But the different missions have been really fun. They ramp up in difficulty. You can choose, as you clear more, you'll unlock different levels of difficulty where you go further into the mission. You can increase the difficulty however you want of the enemies, which are called the Hiss.
I was just going to mention that also, with the ramp in difficulty, it spikes at a certain point.
Oh yeah, you can also increase what is called corruption, and increasing each of these will give you different materials, which I'll kind of get into in a minute. But I love that you can customize the different difficulty of just about everything. The corruption causes random effects to spawn during the map. Since it is a paranormal building, there will be a stapler that causes you to get cold. There will be a snare drum that its hitting of the snare drum causes enemies to move faster. There's a crowbar that causes all of the mechanical stuff to break before you enter the area, and it's random every time, so there's a lot of replayability in it. But I wanted to know, what have your guys' kind of favorite missions been?
Subset, you want to go first?
No.
Okay, fine. I'll go first. At least for me, I really enjoy the jet repair mission just because it feels like you're progressing to a specific goal, and then the fact that you have to end the goal by turning off the heater or the furnace that's been essentially burning you throughout the whole mission through the jet engines. I like that one. And
the fans.
I
know, yeah, sometimes there are bursts of heat that come out that make them look like jet engines, though.
They are jet engines. Shut up.
I'm gonna keep calling them jet engines because it's funny.
That's fair.
I will say though, my least favorite mission is the post-it note mission. The boss fight is really fun, don't get me wrong, but it is a little tedious when I still do not know how to optimize being able to get rid of as many post-it notes as fast as possible.
The post-it note one
Shotgun,
is
revolver, explosions.
the post-it note
Easy.
one is my favorite, just because like there's so many sprinklers you can use to help yourself out.
Oh, I'm not
And
even
the
thinking.
boss
Yeah,
fight
you're
is
right.
really... I like the boss fight, though. Sticky Ricky is such an intuitive boss fight because you need to work together to... There are 2 switches on either side of the boss arena, and one douses him in water, and the other electrocutes him. You need both going off to damage the boss. I love that you need to have that level of teamwork. And you need to fix different parts of it along the way, like if they get damaged by the enemies.
What's your least favorite, though?
My least favorite probably has to be the cold, or the... It's called the cold anomalies. Or, I can't remember the actual name of the mission, but you are like... There is a sentient ski lift, or there's a paranormal ski lift. I keep calling everything sentient, but it's not. There's a paranormal ski lift that causes cold anomalies to form, and you gotta power up little furnaces, or little heaters, carry them around, and toss them into the different ones. And then you gotta travel up, and the entire time you're getting blasted with cold, which is moving you slower, and it's just a slog through the entire thing. I will say though, there are 5 missions, and there is like a 6th folder on the mission board where you select. So that's either for if they release another one, or I hope they do like almost like a secret job where you can like go and battle like a big hiss boss or something like that. I think that'd be cool.
I've been wondering about that 6th mission, but Subset, I do want to know about your favorite and least favorite mission so far, because I've been really enjoying
I
it.
only played 2 of them.
Oh.
You've played
You guys
all
only
of them.
dragged me 2 of them. No, we did not. We played the cold one, but that one's forgettable as shit.
No, if we've done the cold one, we've done everyone because I brought you in order. So there's the... I'll go over them, I guess, so you can... There's
No.
the furnace one.
Because
where
I
you
don't
fix the
I don't
fans.
remember the other one. The only ones I remember is the post-it note and the furnace ones. So I'm gonna leave my comment, no comment.
Oh, fair enough.
The second one is the post-it notes. The third one is where there is pink goo everywhere and you need to fix it.
I remember
it
playing
causes
that
you
one.
It causes you to like you get covered in the pink goo, and if you get hit by melee you explode, so it makes you like brittle and fragile.
I did forget about that one. I do enjoy that one. That one's pretty fun.
But essentially, yeah, in that one you fix like this emitter that emits a frequency that repels the pink goo. And then there is the... Actually, sorry, that's the 4th mission. The 3rd mission is there are these eel, or kind of like crustaceans on the wall, almost like barnacles. And you get this radioactive material out of them, and you need to carry it to this little cart that you run into to push. You actually have to like run into it with your body and push it along a track. It's actually pretty funny. That one is one of my favorites, strictly for the scenery, because you go into what's called the Black Rock Quarry. Black Rock is essentially this material that negates all paranormal and paranatural properties. This is all told through like little notes and stuff that you find in Control. So it's actually like there's a deep lore to this, which is one of the things I'm looking out for while in this game.
The lore.
Gotta try to find it. But I don't know, there's a lot of replayability, especially with the, like I said, with the corruption, but it does get hard. I've played about 20 hours of the game so far, and I've played every mission with max, going the farthest in you can go all the way to the end of the mission, and then with max corruption on hard difficulty. The only thing I have to do is try to beat them on extreme difficulty to see if anything with that 6th folder unlocks, maybe. But I feel like that may just be you click on it and you open up the DLC missions that come out later or something like that.
Oh, that's a good shout. That's probably what they'll do.
But they could, knowing Remedy, it could not be paid DLC. It could just be that they added in later. It could be paid DLC. It all depends on how they do. They only tend to do that stuff when they actually need the money, and they'll post like, hey, we're releasing stuff for paid DLC. We're working on Alan Wake 3 or Control 2 or whatever they're going to be working on. Like, little gush here. Remedy is kind of like...
Little gushy.
It's such a good studio, man. Like, they always are striving towards, like, pushing new creators to be at like the forefront of the projects and like asking what they would think for ideas. Sam Lake, the CEO, is like actually in there working on the projects. He's in the games himself. He's like a character in the games. He's a character. He is the face of a different character in the games as well. Like,
I can appreciate that, where the CEO isn't some money-grubbing head at the top of the company. He's
No,
actually like in the trenches.
if you look at companies and if you look at gaming companies and you look at Remedy, that is like the where you would want to go. It is a Finnish studio, but it is where you would want to go for like growth, I guess you could say, in the industry, because they're very nurturing there when it comes to new talent and like what they do, and they're very passionate. Like, what was it when they released Quantum Break back when the Xbox One came out, and it was that big like TV showcase? Right after that released, they released a video on their YouTube page essentially saying like, yeah, we would like to make Alan Wake 2, but Microsoft said we needed to make Quantum Break, so that's what we're doing. It's hard to find a good creative partner and find the right money. Like, that's Sam Lake said that. The CEO said that in a YouTube video posted like 30 minutes after their weird ass Quantum Break trailer that they had to make went through.
The one thing I want to ask is, speaking of future DLC, to go into a little bit of like prediction territory, what do you want to see them add to this game? Because I feel like a lot of these there's not really a common theme as to the missions that you run through. Like, all of them seem kind of random.
So like, what I want to see for new one is like, I want to see us go to different sectors of the oldest house, because they could honestly make like 30 different games just based on the oldest house itself. Because like, for the first mission, we're going to maintenance to deal with the furnace. We're going to a different part of containment to deal with the ski lift and the cold one. We're going to like a different part of the oldest house to deal with. So like, I want to see us go to maybe like something we've seen in Control. So maybe like Central Executive would be cool, or going to the mail room and like dealing with the tubing, because there's like a little note you can find where something happened in the mail room, and it like started shooting mail into an alternate dimension.
And I guess I should clarify, I more so mean like the vibe and how the missions are portrayed very widely. Like, that's what I'm wondering, if we'll see like a lava world or like one that's underwater.
Lava world. Lord.
We kind of have that with the furnace, though.
No, you're right.
Then how about like a sky world where there's like bits of cubicles and you gotta jump across like different forms of rubble.
You say that, and I'm thinking there is a place that is in the game. Technically, no one is supposed to be there besides like the director, but it's called the Astral Plane, and it's where the board is, and it's like this literal white void, and it's all black rock floating in the sky, and there are these like black rock, like almost humanoid looking creatures that are there as well. So I could see us like maybe having to go in there for a little bit and then have to run out, maybe, but that's like, I don't know. I feel like these later missions are probably we're going to be going places in the oldest house where maybe we'll go in Control 2, kind of hinting to where we're going to go in Control 2, or there will be some end cutscene when you complete everything on the highest difficulty ever made, and then like that's when you unlock it, and it'll be like a cutscene for Control 2 or something like that.
Okay.
It's all fun and games till one of us gets swallowed by the floor.
Yeah, right?
No, don't.
The one thing I do want to ask, do you think they will do any crossover missions with their other IPs that they've made?
Right now, the only thing that they have is Alan Wake, and they've kind of brought in Quantum Break. The main actor from Quantum Break, Sean Ashmore, who, if you don't know, is Bobby Iceman in the X-Men movies.
Bobby
No
Iceman.
way! That's crazy.
He played the main character in Quantum Break, and they brought him back kind of in character. In the first Alan Wake, there was Sarah Breaker, and he's Tim Breaker, Tim E. Breaker for his full name, which Quantum Break, Tim E. Breaker, Time Breaker.
Oh, shut up.
There's a whole DLC in Alan Wake 2 where he becomes essentially Jack from Quantum Break, and like Sam Lake is in the episode where they're filming like Quantum Break the show, and it's a whole DLC where you play as Sean Ashmore, and it like ties in all the different connections from Quantum Break to bring them back into the Remedyverse, because when they left Xbox and became independent, they lost the rights to Alan Wake and Quantum Break, but they bought Alan Wake back. Yeah, so this is kind of like their way of being like, yeah, it is Quantum Break, but it's not Quantum Break, it's Time Breaker now.
Because they're breaking time and not the quantum.
Yeah, because the quantum isn't breaking anymore, it's time. But yeah, I'm very excited to see. I hope it does, because I hope it does lean more to Control 2, because Control 2 is supposed to be the next game that's coming out. But I don't know, this I'll really see. Up until it just came out about a week ago, so
and then cut to when this goes live in like 6 weeks, and then they already
and then there's
announced
DLC.
Yeah,
but we shall see for the DLC.
I just know that you and I gotta pull Subset and drag him through the rest of the missions now. We gotta go do it.
I've been trying to get him on more and more, but he never wants to.
He doesn't like gaming with us.
I don't think it's that.
I don't know, what do you say, Subset?
It needs more pizzazz. I need more wacky shit.
You know what?
Get
I can
to the
agree with
higher
that.
difficulty. You need to play to get to the higher difficulties.
You gotta play more to get to the
I need more
wacky shit.
I need more wacky anomaly shit is over. Or helping
All right,
us out.
we got you know
Either
what that
or,
means,
doesn't matter.
Menace. We gotta drag him through all of it.
I'm trying.
The game's just so, dare I say, not enough quantum.
Not enough quantum.
Not enough quantum, only enough time.
Yeah, not enough quantum science, bro. Like, come on.
All right.
I mean, if you want that, I literally ran across the globe that lowered gravity, or that made gravity weaker.
I've seen that in billion games. Something different, something new. I wanna be seen as different colors. That's what I like to say.
You know what you do? You put on a pair of glasses and you put on like a color lens. That's what you do. There you go. New color.
You just go and buy a 3D TV, and then you play it on that.
Get one of these super expensive gaming chairs that like hooks into the TV. Be the TV, essentially.
But that's all I got. If you want to take us out, Bobbert.
What do you mean? Subset's taking us out. He's hosting.
Not it.
No.
Damn it. All right. Well, now that we've got all of the corporate talk out of the way with Microsoft's price decrease, I think it is the perfect time to talk about the latest anime to hit Crunchyroll, and that is the Nyaight of the Living Cat. Now, this is something that I have really been looking forward to ever since checking out the trailer. Now, for those of you that are unaware, this is a zombie apocalypse with cats, and no, not humanoid cats, just regular house cats, because apparently there was a genetic experiment that condensed a whole bunch of different genomes and different species of cat into one, and essentially started the outbreak of literally transforming humans into cats via touch. Now, the one thing I love about this anime is they play it completely straight. The characters involved in this act as though it is still a crisis, but who would want to destroy or kill a cat? Especially if you are in a world where all of your social media is based on cats, all of your identity is based on cats, and essentially the world's theme is we love cats. So the one thing every single character has come into an issue with is, how can I destroy something that I love so dearly? And that's where I think the great character writing comes into play here, because honestly, this doesn't feel like a gory, scary anime, but there is still that tension. Having the concept of the world ending in such a cute and quote-unquote harmless way honestly kind of increases the tension, because you never know when a scene is gonna take place and a cat's just gonna drop, or it's gonna take a corner. At least with horror movies and horror franchise, with the way they set up suspense, you can kind of anticipate when things are gonna happen. But with this, it is kind of up in the air how they're gonna take it and what different cliches from zombie apocalypse media they will take into it. Now, another thing I want to mention about this anime is the art style looks good, but this is not an episode of To Be Hero X. This is not Bleach 1000 Year Blood War. This is a very low-cost anime, and you can feel that in kind of the animation quality, but just because the visuals don't look as stunning as, say, the later seasons of Demon Slayer or My Hero Academia, you can still get the same enjoyment out of this anime just by relating with the characters and honestly enjoying the wacky hijinks that they get into. But I will say one thing, there are so many cats. This is really cool because I feel like a lot of the times in old anime, they don't really showcase the fact that a simple house cat can have hundreds of variations in their genome. That is kind of a side point I wanted to make, but honestly, the reason why I make that point is the main character of this anime is the tropey amnesia-ridden hero, and the one thing he does know is he has an encyclopedic knowledge of not only cats' genomes and their species, but also their behavioral patterns and the best ways to handle, quote unquote, a cat, whether that be as an owner or a survivor of what they call a nyandemic. But aside from that, I've only seen the first handful of episodes because I just wanted to dip my toes into it. Well, that and there were only a handful of episodes out at the time of me recording this. But it is really fun to look into, honestly. It is a great anime with a lot of good comedy and some great character interactions as well, because the one strife, the one struggle every character hates to face is having to put down either a dog or a kitten. And I guarantee you, a lot of these characters are just gonna end up giving up because they literally can't see themselves harming a cat. Now, I definitely suggest going out of your way to check out the Nyaight of the Living Cat, as it will most likely keep going into the end of this year, depending on how many episodes and seasons they have planned. But yeah, this was honestly really refreshing. A nice Shaun of the Dead style zombie apocalypse where you don't really have to hold your stomach in your hands and wait for the next anticipated jump scare or moment of suspense, especially after all the time I've been playing the Walking Dead Telltale games. It's really nice to just kind of relax for one of these infestation stories. But yeah, definitely go check out the Nyaight of the Living Dead. But that's pretty much everything I have to discuss. So at this point, I think it's time for me to send it back to me and my friends to end this week's episode. That's been all that we have for this week. It's unfortunate that Blaze and Gemini were unable to join us, but they had lives, and as I've always said, life comes first.
Losers!
Yeah, losers! But yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out our daily shorts that we are now posting, and be sure to check out all the lovely content that the CJSW station and website have to offer. I'd love to thank my two bros for joining me today. Thank you so much, Menace.
Oh yeah, always a good time.
And thank you, Subset. The rap boy returns.
I hate you.
I had to get it in. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Heyo.